After 4 years and millions of trips, Uber has offered its last ride in Taiwan for now. The ride-sharing app suspended services today, Friday, after racking up millions of dollars in fines. The government declared Uber services to be illegal. And here you can see drivers protesting outside the Ministry of Transport as the suspension took effect. It's worth noting this is not Uber's first setback in Asia. It's ruined the Taiwan mainland China last year, selling its business to a major local rival. Earlier, I spoke with Uber Taiwan's general manager, Likai Gu, to find out what's behind the company's decision and whether it still has a future there.
The Taiwanese government has passed a recent bill that has raised fines against Uber drivers and Uber to the highest to anywhere around the world. And what we really want to do by suspending operations is reset that dialogue and discuss how we can go forward to regulating ride sharing, because we believe that that's something that both the Taiwanese people and the Taiwanese government would like.
Do you think that the problem could be not the Taiwan government, but Uber's business model, and that Uber perhaps needs to rethink its approach to local markets like Taiwan?
Generally, what we're seeing is that the model of ride sharing, which is the business that Uber is in, is being adopted pretty widely around the world. And many different countries around the world are starting to adopt new regulations to regulate this new type of activity. And I think they see the economic impact, they see the technological innovation, they see the mobility benefits that ride sharing can bring. So I think that is the part that we need to discuss with the Taiwan government, is that if they do believe in this model, and if they do believe that ride sharing is good for the city and good for its citizens, then we should find a way to regulate it.
Yeah, and that's the crux of it, because the Taiwan government believes that Uber is a tech company, but not a transportation company. And do you fear that you're going to encounter more difficulty in other Asian markets, especially you have other governments suspicious about your business model?
The Philippines became the first country in the world to have national regulations around ride sharing. Other countries around the region, such as Singapore and Malaysia, have also adopted similar types of rules to help foster this development. So, I think we very much are seeing that trend move in the right direction. And I think we want to, as a Taiwanese person, we would like to see Taiwan kind of join that and also be a leader in that, so that other nations can start looking at Taiwan as an example of how to smartly regulate ride sharing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can continue with the Uber gospel and to lobby and to share your messaging with people and governments all around the world. But the criticism has really been relentless, from governments, from drivers, from labor groups, not just Asia, but again, countries all over the planet. So, I mean, do you fear that Uber is going to become not a true global tech company, but a company that will operate ultimately in just a few select markets?
One thing to note is that when we entered Taiwan back in 2013, there were no other Asian markets besides Singapore and Taiwan that we had launched in. And today we're in all the major countries in Asia, including India, including Australia, including Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore. So I think what we're seeing is actually the ability to kind of spread that global footprint around the world has really benefited both people who are traveling across those regions and travelers who are familiar with the service and the brand. And
back to Uber Taiwan, you call this a suspension, you call this a pause. When are you going to start back up again?
Well, I think that is really up to the government. I mean, I think, President Tsai herself has made Uber and ride sharing as part of her pre-election policy campaign. And I think, she has been, quite vocal in her wants to try to create this Silicon Valley of Asia for Taiwan and create better economic development. And we think, ride sharing fits in really well with that.
And that was Uber Taiwan's general manager, Likai Gu, speaking with me earlier. And in that interview, he mentioned one of the reasons Uber is suspending operations is because the government has raised fines for drivers, making it too hard to do business. Well, Taiwan's government has directed us to an earlier statement, which reads in part this, quote, "The government has long insisted that Uber's operation in Taiwan must be regulated, taxed, and insured due to the fact that Uber provides a transportation service. It has to bear the same responsibility and duty as other transportation service providers."